what is going on with you guys? Thank you for tapping in with me again today. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Cleveland. So I hope this video finds you all in the absolute best of health and spirits, wherever you might be, wherever you are. It's Monday. How was your weekend? Y'all have a good weekend? I hope you did. My weekend was busy. Let's just say it was busy. Saturday, I went out, met a cool dude, cool subscriber, supporter, Mike. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all the support over the years. But he gifted me 3 monster fish. Remember, I was telling you on Friday that I had, matter of fact, it was Saturday, I was telling you that I had, I was going to pick up some monster fish. So I picked up some monster fish, and one was Asian red-tailed catfish. One was a very large, probably about 11-inch jag, Managuins. And then it was a beautiful 7-inch red devil. Now, when I picked them up, brought them home, had them in the trash can, aeration, all that stuff. The ART, the Asian red tail, was just beating the hell out of those fish while they were inside of the trash can. So they already started off to a bad start. So I initially planned on, since they came from the same aquarium, they were all in a 75 gallon. So I initially was going to put them all in the same aquarium, the 225 right there. I had an Oscar in there, I had my VA high in there, and I had my smaller 6-inch jag in there. Thought it worked fine. Until when I got home, I seen that he was beating the hell out of the red devil and the jag. I mean, it was pretty bad. So I couldn't put them together. I didn't want to put them together. Felt like he was super aggressive. So I put the Asian red tail in the 225. I put the jag and the red devil in the 240 behind you. Didn't look like it was too much going on, Obviously, when you add new fish, there's a little bit of aggression, chasing them off, things like that. Nothing to be concerned about if you keep aggressive fish. That's part of the introduction process sometimes. More than 50% of the time, like 75, 85% of the time, you're going to have a little bit of that. So nothing to be alarmed about. Now, as I sat and watched that Asian red tail, was super aggressive, to the point to where he was chasing down my VA high. I had to move him out. I had to put the VA high in the 240. He started going after TO, the Tiger Oscar, which is quite large. Started going after him, beating him up. Had to move him into the 240. Obviously, I had to move out the jag, put that into the 240 as well. So the Asian red tail ended up having the 225 overnight by himself. That's not what we plan on doing over here. We don't want to have one fish that got a whole tank to himself, especially something that we didn't especially something we didn't buy for ourselves. Because, I got some fish like the Giardini and the albino arowana that's in the tank, not by themselves. They does have other fish. Well, that's the thing. None of my fish, aside from Stone Toad, has a tank to himself, and that's a 54 gallon. I don't mind that. We are not going to have one fish in a 225 gallon. So, that wasn't going to work. Now, in the 240, what went on overnight was they beat the hell out of the red devil, to the point to where I moved it out when I first came in. When I came in the fish room first thing in the morning, do my little check, I seen that it was wedged between a rock. They beat the hell out of it. Had to move it into the quarantine tank. We unfortunately lost that beautiful red devil, y'all. We did. Now, we also had the jag left. Jag was doing fine. Nobody was bothering him. We went to Twins Aquarium in Stockton, California, to go and just see what, I was feeling kind of down, even though I had just got the fish and it was initially my fish, I was enamored with that fish when I first seen it. I was a beautiful red devil, white, orange patches on him, orange around the eye, beautiful. I really wanted that fish, which is the reason why I was also gifted that fish as well. And that's another thing, like, this hurts because it was a gift. You never want something that somebody give you, you never want that to happen, but it happened, you know what I mean? So I feel really bad. Sorry again, Mike, if you're watching, sorry again about this. This is so unexpected, I definitely didn't think any of this was gonna happen. So let's talk about the jag. So we went to Twins Aquarium. We picked up some beautiful fish. Cuban cichlid, tire track eel. And then when we come back, the jag is looking stressed. Let's just say stressed, sitting in the corner, you know, looking the same way it did, a little bit worse, but stressed. And remember, he's been beat up since he was in the trash can. He was beat up when we picked him up. That was part of the reason why he was gifted, because Asian Redtail was beating up the fish in a smaller 75-gallon aquarium. So he was looking worse. So we moved him into the 225. Before we went to bed, went in there to check on him. He was doing okay. Still sitting in his one spot. You know what I mean? I didn't think this was going to happen. Let's just say that. Go into the fish room before I go to bed to check on it, and he's upside down. Still breathing, but upside down. Labor breathing. Once you see the fish rotate like that, you know it's a situation with the swim bladder. I was already thinking that because he was sitting on the bottom of the aquarium when we came back from Twins Aquarium. He was sitting in the corner, but he was just sitting on the bottom. Sometimes the fish is stressed. They will do that. Excuse me. They will do that. So that's kind of like what I thought was going to happen. Like I first thing I thought, I'm like, damn, swim bladder. But yeah, that was so this morning when I come in here, I haven't even posted the last video yet. I'm kind of on the fence. I don't even know if I want to post it, just because I was showing the jag in there and I was talking about how we're going to get him back to health. I thought he was going to be good, and he's not good. So I come in here in the morning, he's still breathing, still upside down. You know, I don't think the Cuban cichlid did anything to him. You know, if I do post that other video, I did put the Cuban cichlid in there with him, female Cuban cichlid, went in the 225 with him. But every time I came in the fish room, the Cuban cichlid was far away from him. Never was next to him. Didn't look like he had more damage. I just think the damage from the 240 got to him. He was in bad shape, y'all. He was in really bad shape. I don't want to say he didn't have a chance. He had a chance. I don't know where I would have been able to put such a large fish if they couldn't go together. They were in the 75. I would have wanted to put them together, but that Asian Redtail is an absolute beast. So how was I able to put the fish in the 225 being that I had the Asian Redtail in there? That's the next question. So I was about to get rid of the Asian Redtail catfish, to be honest with you. Mike, I was about to get rid of the Asian Redtail catfish. But I really hate to give up on fish. I really do. I believe that I provide a good home for these fish. Again, maybe if they didn't get beat up in that trash can, you know, because I was going to put the red devil in the pond. I got a lot of red devils in there. So I was going to put the red devil in the pond. And, you know, the jag was going to stay with the Asian Redtail. But what I ended up doing with the Asian Redtail, it was like the last resort. You know, he can't go with anything. He's super aggressive. Like I put in the morning, yesterday morning, it seemed like the Oscar and him was getting along because I did leave the Oscar in there. I don't know if I started talking about, but if I did, that was a mistake. I left the Oscar in there with the Asian Redtail overnight. And they seem to have been fine. So I'm like, okay, all right, he's calmed down. The VA was going after the, you know, some of the other smaller fish, so I put the VA back in there. Matter of fact, the VA was actually attacking the red devil, you know, when it was wedged between the rocks, so I got mad. Get back in there with the Asian Redtail catfish. So I put it back in there with the Asian Redtail catfish, and then it seemed to have been fine. You know, the gourami and albino Oscar was butting heads fighting and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, maybe the gourami needs a bigger tank. I mean, maybe the gourami needs its own tank away from the Oscar. Put him in there. Everything was looking good. Asian Redtail went after the Oscar, went after the VA, went after the giant gourami. That's when I took them all out. Bam, put them all in there. And that's when he got the tank to himself. So he didn't have the tank to himself overnight by himself. He had the tank to himself for a couple hours. So again, like I said, that's not what we wanted to do. So last resort, before I take him back to the store, I'm like, where could he go? I'm like, all right, I got these predators right here in this 800 gallon. I'm like, I know he's not going to smash on a dove eye, the buddy car fry. That's not going to happen. But I do have some smaller fish in there I was concerned about. So I went ahead and put him in 800 gallon. kind of worked out so far. He hasn't. I mean, he got smashed on a little bit. Nobody's like bit at him, but basically, they keeping his in line. So he's still. I could show him off to you. He's probably big. He's like this big. He's a big Asian red tail. Beautiful though. He's a beautiful. They're super aggressive. I had to move the little one out. The little one went from the 55-gallon over there. He was picking on my tiger shovel nose, so I threw him over here. He's even aggressive in here. So I don't know. I know a bunch of y'all was thinking that. I mean, I know some of y'all that know about Asian red tail catfish. You like, man, be careful. You know, I seen like one comment, you know, letting me know how aggressive they are. I did look them up. They are super aggressive, y'all. If y'all want an aggressive catfish, get you an Asian red tail catfish. They are super aggressive. And they're different than like the other ones, like the red tail catfish or the red tail hybrid tiger shovel nose catfish. Like, they don't really just, I mean, I guess it's something small enough, they suck it up, but their mouth aren't as big, and at least not the ones that I have. Like, the mouth are definitely not as big. Even the tiger shovel nose mouth is a lot bigger than the Asian red tail, smaller Asian red tail catfish. But what they do, they are like, they remind me of the doveye. Like, when he was going after the fish, like he was like a missile, like hitting a bam, bam. Like, it wasn't like I'm about to try to eat you. It's like I'm hitting you. Like, so when he hit my ungrami, he hit it and like made a nice little fucking, sorry, excuse my language, and made a nice slice on the side of it. When he went at the vieja, he didn't try to eat it. He hit it, you know. And then with the jag and the red devil, like, he just biting at the fins. Biting at the fins, not trying to swallow them, not trying to eat them. They're way too big to be eaten. But he's hitting them like in a real aggressive fish. And it's kind of like different from the catfish. Usually with a regular catfish, you know, okay, long as the fish is too big for the fish to swallow, you know, you're good. Not with these Asian red tails. If they can't swallow them, they still gonna attack like an aggressive fish. Like, you know, so that's the difference. That's the difference that I'm seeing with these. But again, I mean, if you got a nice big setup, you know, so far this has worked. I really hope I don't regret that. Aida was saying she thought it was a bad idea, but like I said, you know, she changed her mind once she seen how all of our aggressive fish was just keeping them in line. Let's say that. Like the pike, everybody was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're right here. You can't go over here. You know what I mean? You stay right here. So, I mean, that's not really what we want to happen either, but I definitely don't want him to go in there thinking that he's about to do the same thing that he was doing in the 225. I mean, that's totally unexpected. This fish was in a 75-gallon looking happy, eating pellets with the two other fish that he beat the crap out of. You never would have thought that he would have did what he did in the trash can and then literally just got a 225 and it smashed on every fish that was in there. Every fish that I put in there. So, you know, I'm glad that I didn't have to give up on him. I'm glad that he's in the pond. I would hope that as he grows, he continues to be or get some of that nature back that he had in that 75-gallon, because I don't have any footage, but if you've seen how he was acting in that 75-gallon, you would never believe that this is the same fish that I'm talking about. But they are notorious for being extremely aggressive, extremely aggressive, and I could attest to that. Now, that being said, we also have another pond monster in there that I have lack to show you. I have probably like a 16-inch clown knife fish in there. I think I showed a little bit of him in the last video or one of the last videos. So as we take a look at this Asian red tail, we can potentially see the clown knife as well. But I just wanted to make this video. I'm feeling, like I said, I haven't even put out the last video. It was done last night. I was trying to get it out to you last night, Sunday, and I just on the fence about it because, like I said, it's not one of those videos that I want to show, especially being that I was very optimistic. Excuse me, it's early. I was very optimistic. Let me hit some of this coffee real quick. But I was very optimistic about getting that guy back to health. Haven't seen a jag that size in years. That was the biggest one I've seen in years. So yeah, that really sucks. But I do my best to keep it honest with you all. It don't cost nothing, to be honest. And things happen. You know what I mean? I mean, in reality, these weren't. I haven't lost one of my fish, but I lost my fish. You know, they were gifted to me, and then, like I said, like, yeah, just sucks. Just sucks. You never want that to happen. You don't want to lose your own fish, and you definitely don't want to lose a fish that somebody gift to you. And I did the best I could. I really did. I was not planning on this to happen. If I would have thought anything like this would have happened, I would have definitely have done a lot of different things. I would have done a lot different. I would have moved fish around. I would have placed them better. All of that. I was not expecting any of that, especially with that beautiful red devil. I mean, those are my favorite, some of my favorite fish. The colorations on those guys are beautiful. I do believe that everything happens for a reason, though. Everything happens for a reason. So now we have a completely empty 225. I did move the Cuban cichlid down below where he's fighting with another one of my fish that I moved from the pond. So I'm not gonna, yeah. It's always something. Knock that off. So I did move the flower horn that was in the 800 gallon into the 75 gallon because it's about this big. It hasn't grown, but I moved it in there originally because it's just so aggressive. Like, it don't even like tank mates. He was fine with the green tears, but maybe he just don't like the fact that I put that female Cuban cichlid in there. So I moved the Cuban cichlid in there because, again, I'm not going to have just one tank for one fish. And I don't know who I want to put in there. I was thinking about maybe moving Drax into there and then all of the fry into that 225 so they could grow out. And then if I do that, then I can move the fish from the 75 gallon to the 150. And then I can move the fish from the 40 gallon to the 75. So upgrading everybody. That's one of the things that I was thinking about doing because, like I was trying to say before, I just seen that crazery right there, that craziness, is that both of my Oscars are now in the 240. And everybody seems to be getting along. T.O. is getting along. Well, you know what I mean. I couldn't even have them in the same aquarium before because they would just butt heads and want to fight all the time. So the fact that now everybody's over there, we got the giant gourami, we got T.O., which is a tiger Oscar, along with Oscar, the albino Oscar, the Vieja, my Jag, my Madagascar, they are all over there. And that's something that was forced, but for some reason it's actually working for now. So I'm quite surprised by that. I don't know. After just seeing these guys fight down here, I know I have to do a little, some fish watching to see what's going to happen. It's never a dull moment. I say it all the time. When you got fish tanks and you got aggressive fish, you just never know how things gonna turn. Things will be going smooth operator, and then all of a sudden you bumping in the Rockies. So let's check out the Asian red tail, and we can look at that 240. I can show you the fish that I'm moving to the 75. I'm pretty sure that if you see it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that was the one. So let's just do some looking around. And then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Maybe I will get that other video out to you. I wish I could have just added a little clip at the end of that one and saying, hey, we lost the Oscar. Maybe I'll put that as my comment, the first comment. Not the Oscar, the Jag, the first comment, and letting y'all know that we did indeed lose the Jag. I really hate making these videos. This, every time I make a video like this is definitely, some people unsubscribe, and I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? But I'm not a fish killer. Things happen. Things definitely happen, and I keep all aggressive fish. I even told Mike that, my tanks, like, I don't keep passive fish. These fish are some hitters. Like, it's levels though. You know what I mean? This is the 800 gallon pond is where I have the most aggressive fish that I have. Hence the reason why the other fish are not in there. I tried putting Drax in there. They beat the hell out of Drax. I tried my albino Oscar in there. I put the albino Oscar in there. Beat the hell out of the albino Oscar. I put the tiger Oscar in there. Beat the hell out of him. The V8 high. Beat the hell out the V8 high. I have not put the giant gourami in there, and I think I'll wait until the giant gourami gets this big before I put it in there. By that time, this thing should be before I put the giant gourami in there, hopefully this thing is already the 2,000 gallon to 20. I really want it bigger than that, especially with some of the fish that I have. So I'm gonna try to go bigger than 2,000 gallons. I would love to get 2,500 to 3,000 gallons somehow, some way. I know if I go tall, I can. So nonetheless, I want this thing to be an absolute showpiece monster of an aquarium for the monster fish that I actually have. So that's the plan. But again, like I said, that's the reason why these fish are in there and those fish are right there. And you know why I keep everybody separate, because I want to make sure all my fish live a happy life while I have them. I don't like my fish to fight. I don't like all of that. I'm not a big fan of seeing, you know, fish with chewed up fins and constantly looking stressed and getting chased and getting beat up. I'm not a fan of that at all. Like I don't promote that. I'm not about that. But when you keep them, it happens without you even wanting it to. So that's what's going on, y'all. That is what's going on. I might need to move out the Cuban because I don't even want the new guy to be stressed out, the one I just put in there. I don't know where I could put the Cuban. I got some options. I do have some options. Maybe I put him in the 55 gallon up there with the eels. Maybe I can put him up there with the eels. That'd probably be okay. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I got to do some fish watching. Didn't really plan on that. But before I let y'all go, I want you to know I really appreciate y'all. If y'all have already stuck around this far, listening to me just talk, I appreciate you. And if you're new here, this is the first time you hearing me talk, first time you seeing some of these things that I'm about to show you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All the videos aren't always like this. We have highs and lows. We keep it real though over here. That's the thing. So really appreciate it. We're going to talk about the things that we need to talk about. And also hit that notification bell for me one time. Just let you know whenever I upload. But let's take a look at these fish. Let me get you guys up out of here. And again, like I said, I really appreciate you so far. Well, I really appreciate you all. So let's get to looking at some aquariums, some ponds. And then we're going to let y'all go about y'all day. Y'all probably get this video on Tuesday because today Monday. So if I do let that other video out, you heard that splashing? Those are red devils going at it. Let's take a look. All right, so right back there is the red devil. Somebody might say it's not a red devil. I'm just telling you what not a red devil, flower horn. But it looks like a red devil to me. Yet they sold it to me as a flower horn. I've never seen a flower horn that looked like that, but they sold it to me as a flower horn a long time ago. I've had that guy for quite a while. And it's been in that 800 gallon pond for about a year. And, you know, being in that pond with those monsters, he definitely been beat up. And just holding his own. Look at that beautiful female Cuban cichlid. So you look at the fins. Holding it down in that pond. So you could imagine how, you know, how aggressive and, you know, he stands up for himself. It's for him to be in there and still survive. But look at the fins. Can't wait to see his fins grow back. And the reason why he went in there because all he wanted to do is fight. I'm so glad that he's not acting like that with the green tears. But since I added this female Cuban cichlid in there just a little while ago, it's kind of like throwing him off. You see what I'm saying? Might have to move the Cuban cichlid out. Put the Cuban cichlid in the 240. I didn't even think that. Yeah. Look at him. Just took some scales off. Yeah, I think I'm going to separate them. I don't like that. That's too much. That's way too much. She might have did something to that jag. Yeah, I'm gonna take her out. All right, so just got her on up out of there. We got that guy thinking that he's in trouble. Nah, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble at all. And now here's the Cuban. Things should be a lot better off in here anyway. We'll see. But she is definitely a beautiful fish. Look at her. But like I was saying, so look, check it out. That glare is a little bad. Sorry about that. Let me see if I could do a better job with showing them off. So, got the giant red-tailed gourami right there. Got the albino Oscar. We got Jag. We got T.O. back there. The Cuban cichlid, nobody's bothering. The Vieja always has a little problem with everybody. So we'll see how that work out. And then who else we got in here? I mean, those are the main ones that I was worried about. You know, there's T.O. right there. T.O. is always grumpy, but Oscar's still, I'm going to say Oscar's tank boss because the giant gourami be smashing on him sometimes, but it goes a little back and forth. But yeah, so maybe I should have moved the Cuban cichlid in here from the gate. Oscar's not worried about him or worried about her. T.O. is not worried about her. It's just the Vieja. Our Jag is not worried about her. I don't know where the Madagascar is. But yeah, she's been tank hopping today, and now the Vieja is not worried about her. So this might have been the best bet. Aside from the fact that the Cuban keeps wanting to go over there towards the Vieja. And now the Madagascar, who is not worried about the Cuban at all. That's good. That's definitely a good thing. Now, if she just stopped going over there, she'd be all right. But no fin nippage or anything like that. All right, let's take a look at our Asian redtail. Y'all splashing, y'all. Quit splashing. So I see the fins and I see the little barbs. There's the Asian redtail right there. I don't know if you can see how big it is, but it's pretty long. But as you can see, you would think that, and there's the 16-inch clown knife. Nice, right? Yeah, I think so too. So, yeah. That's the Asian redtail that was causing all the problems. But you wouldn't even think it because in here, they got him in check. You see? He's not going after nobody. He's not showing no aggression. Just chilling. So I probably should have moved him in here from the start. Just like I should have moved this Cuban into the 240 from the start. We live and we learn. That's the thing about the fish hobby. You think you're doing something right, and then lo and behold, you're not. You got to do something a little bit different. Got to switch it up. So that's what we do here. We live, learn, and share whatever we're going through, so others could also learn from our mistakes and do things a little bit better. Sometimes it's not even a mistake. Sometimes just, stop going over there. Get away from that VA high. You got a whole 240 gallon aquarium. Why do you keep wanting to stay here in the middle? There you go, finally. So yeah. I think it'll be all right. We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated, as you know. I'll give y'all the good, the bad, and the ugly, no matter how it makes me look. Because if I keep this to myself, if I don't share these things with y'all, how can y'all learn from them? It's, and she over there mad for no reason. Get over it. All right, so let's take a look at the tire track eel. There's the fire eel right there. And the tire track eel is there's the tail of the tire track eel. And then there's our tiger shovel nose right there. And then back to this tank being peaceful. And that's what needs to happen. This thing needs to stay peaceful. So we have a whole 225 gallon that's empty over here that we got to do something with. I think Drax, well, look, I don't know. I kind of want to, I don't want to say I want to keep them separate, but as these fish get bigger, I definitely don't want them becoming a problem for Drax. But I do feel like him having a bigger tank would be so much better. I think he'd be happy to have a bigger tank. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. I know this was a long one. And there we go. See what I'm saying? Peaceful. These guys will look so good in this 150. All right, so that's it. We're about to wrap this on up. Yeah, it's quite possible that she was going after the Jag without me knowing. Like I said, I never seen her do it. Never even seen her next to the Jag. The Jag was actually staring her down and kind of like chasing her down a little bit. Even when he was kind of immobile, he was still chasing her down a bit. But anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this on up. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. So I appreciate you all for stopping by. Appreciate y'all for watching, supporting, chilling with me for a little bit, hearing me, hearing this long topic and things like that. Maybe I will get that other video out to you just so this one will make more sense, because otherwise this one was almost for nothing. But anyway, I appreciate you all. Thank you for stopping by, kicking it with me. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and everybody, if you like the video, not only like the video for me, share it with somebody. Share the content whenever you can, whenever you feel it in you. Just go ahead and share it. It really helps the channel. It supports us a great deal. And the algorithm, it really appreciates it. So anyway, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Have a good day. I'll catch you later. Peace. All right, y'all. So we almost at 20K. We almost at 20K. I appreciate you all. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, share the content, help us get to that 20K. Also, follow us over on TSC with me on TikTok and YouTube. That is our other channel, behind the scenes. You get to see all the behind the scenes content. Aida's in charge of that one. She's been doing a wonderful job getting ahead of me. So if you want to get ahead of me too, you got to follow over there. But again, I appreciate you all. Let's get to that 20K. Have a good one. Peace.